our group. You know, this league can steal your confidence and rob your confidence at times. Playing some of the best teams in the country. You know, social media, you know, can rob individuals of confidence sometimes. I don't care if you say put it away. Kids have grown up in it, and I'm really I'm happy for our group. They've worked hard the entire year. You know, from the time those guys arrived on campus and have worked with our staff, you know, to be able to go out on senior night the right way, being able to face all the adversity, and, you know, some will say self-inflicted, not playing well. Like I said, this league can rob you some confidence at times. And for our guys to be able to respond the way they did today, I'm really happy for them. Happy for our three seniors who chose Louisville in a very, very tough time, very uncertain time, to provide the stability they have both as players but more importantly as people. And so, you know, we recognize we got one more game, obviously not here, on the road against one of the best teams in the country, but it feels good. I know our guys, there's a sense of relief and feels like a monkey's off our back. And now we press forward and we start playing a little bit better like we did today.
Coach, from an execution and energy standpoint, it seemed like your team played a full 40 minutes tonight. Just kind of talk about the message to these guys over the last several days, and then what it ended up being today on the court.
Well, it's funny because I think all along, for the most part, we've played pretty well defensively. You know, we've been over the last 3-4 weeks top 15, top 20 defense. Statistic-wise, but the ball hasn't gone in. You know, we haven't scored 60 points in a game in the last 4 games, and it's never been. It's not something I'm used to. And again, like I said in the opening statement, you know, you get robbed of confidence sometimes in this league because of the different styles that you play against. You know, terrific defense that you play against. But I thought our energy level on the defensive end was terrific. I still think we had to work through some mental demons on the offensive end. To be quite honest, we still go 2 for 22 from the three-point line, and yet we almost score 80 points. So you know, we were doing something right, and you know, I think a big part of it was that energy on the offensive glass, and just our ability to get to the lane a little bit more today. You know, it's like I said, confidence is an amazing thing in sports.
Coach, speaking of confidence, talk about the game that VJ King had today.
Great. I'm happy for him. You know, VJ's wanted to play more. He's wanted to play better when he did have his opportunities. And, you know, it's hard to describe how good of a kid he is. And I know people, you know, only see him as a basketball player. So the struggles that he's gone through to be able to play as confident as he has the last couple games, has given our team a boost of energy. And I'm hopeful that, you know, the confidence issues that he's had in the past just play all out. And I think he's done that. He's given us a tremendous boost on the offensive glass. If you look at his numbers last year, he never offensive rebound. And regardless of how he's played this year, he's done that. And I just think that's, you know, more aggressive VJ. And so we need guys to step up when others aren't playing as well. I'm really happy. I cannot say enough about his character. That's not lip service. I can't say enough. He never hangs his head. He never hangs his head. He never talks about his coaching staff behind her back. He never talks about a teammate. Well, I would do this. I mean, he's raised amazing, and he's an incredible person. I'm just glad it's working out here the last few games for him.
Speaking of both VJ and Darius playing well today as well, how does that change maybe the dynamic a little bit of what you can do with your rotation?
2 of our better athletes. I know this defensively. Both of them can contain the ball when they're locked in. You know, VJ specifically in the first half was phenomenal defensively. He's chesting drivers. Those guys are taking bad shots. You know, he's 6'6". You know, he's got really good feet. He's got, you know, great size, and he's playing aggressive on the defensive end. Darius is a game changer. You know, he just has to be a guy that can be consistent and can be counted on. But there are things that he can do that, quite honestly, some of his teammates can't. And that's what's been the frustrating thing at times about DP, because he's got it in him. And when he has nights like today, it's good to see because he's continued to battle and get better.
Chris, when you could have played VJ some more minutes in other games. What was it about today? Was it the matchup? Was it something in practice that you saw out of him, or just?
I think he's played better in practice. And again, Dwayne hasn't played as well, and as much as Dwayne's given us all year long, he's still getting his shot. He's still playing, but that feeling when it's like I know I can help. I need to help, and he's been working, like I said, like a dog in practice in a good way. And I thought he, although he didn't shoot well at Boston College, he provided some really good minutes, did some good things, and continue that effort in practice. And again, you play well in practice, you're gonna get your shot in the game. You do well in the game, then your opportunities get extended. And he put himself in a great position these last couple of games.
You talked about confidence in your opening statement, and what have you done specifically for VJ's confidence when he's not playing against Duke and Virginia here? Another player might have solved.
Yeah, I think it's not so much what a coach will do for somebody's confidence. I really think that's tough to say, hey, I'm going to inject you with some confidence. I think it comes down to VJ finally having enough. He came up to see me and said, Coach, I want to play. I want to do whatever I can for the team to win. I'm not asking for you to, play me 30 minutes a game. And I think that's the first time all year that he's really, put himself out there like that. And again, when you have the type of character that he does and the type of ability that he does, I felt I owed that to him.
How recent was that?
A few weeks ago.
Christian, Malik has given you defense, rebounding. That's been kind of consistent. When he's able to score in the paint like he did, what talent does that add for you?
A lot. He's never been truly a back-to-the-basket player, and he's come a long way. Again, some of the interior players that he's going against every single day don't get scored on by many. But, he's a one-trick pony if he sits on the perimeter. And again, we need him to be versatile. It really starts with his energy level because he can keep balls alive. He can get offensive rebound. He can get stickbacks. There's nothing that's stopping him from doing that. We tried to position him on the floor in our offense a little differently today to try to take advantage of some of the things that he can do. Slip into the rim and get him running on ball screens towards the basket rather than out from the basket. Getting him to offensive rebound from outside in versus inside. It's tougher for him because he's not the bulkiest guy in the world. But he's a difference maker on the defensive end.
What kind of things did you do inside to get that kind of advantage? I think it was 46-26. What was the emphasis there?
We've been, if anybody's been at our practices, it seems like all our practices are open lately. We've just been warming it up. We do some caveman drills to try to bring out that toughness and fight. And this group hasn't been used to that. But I'm just a firm believer that you earn what you get, man. You get what you earn. If you shoot 2 for 22, figure out a way to get those 20 misses. Figure out a way to limit another team to one shot. Punch them in the mouth, figuratively, and go get the basketball. And I think our team took a step forward with that. Really, the last couple games, we didn't play very well offensively, but we got 18 offensive rebounds at Boston College, and then we followed that up today with, winning the Battle of the Glass by 19. That's who we need to be.
What is a caveman drill?
Anything that requires, some physical toughness. It's not all pretty pick and pop threes. It's just put your boxing gloves on and get in the paint and figure out a way to get the ball.
Coach, there was a point during the game when VJ had his drive, score, count the basket. The team kind of rallied behind him and embraced him. Can you sense not only the coaching staff but him just almost a relief to see VJ kind of?
Well, I think what you saw was guys that love their teammate. It's just genuine. When VJ scored, I think everybody on our bench was up, and it was you feel like every point with where our team's been offensively the last 4 games is a relief in and of itself. But when a guy like VJ who's going through a lot sticks it in and makes such an effort play to get the ball, I just think the love that his teammates have for him was genuine. You could see in that moment.
Coach, Notre Dame's been able to stick close to some really good teams. Talk about the defensive game plan for DJ Harvey and TJ Gibbs.
Yeah, that's what I said to our team. You know, I think an outsider, you say, hey, they're having a subpar year in comparison to what Coach Bray's done for so many years because of injuries. And but what I see is a team that was playing well of late, just like Boston College. You know, they were playing well. Virginia, it's a one-possession game at Virginia with 20 seconds left in the game. You know, Florida State, much like us, they were in charge of the game virtually the entire time. So we felt like Notre Dame was coming in with a lot of confidence and playing their best basketball of the season. And they had nothing to lose. And, you know, they probably look at us and see the box scores that we've put together the last few games and say, hey, we can get one. So, you know, it says a lot about our team. We've been a really good defensive team ever since the Pittsburgh game at Pittsburgh, and it's why it's allowed us to have opportunities to win. We haven't always won, I know that, but at the same time, it's given our team a chance to win, to be in one possession, two possession games down the stretch.
What does it say about Jordan's growth as a player that he can go 1 for 6 from 3 and have 20 points and 11 rebounds? I mean, I'm not sure we would have seen that earlier in the year.
Yeah, and I think that he did some gritty things today. And I think sometimes in Jordan's short time in college, in the first 2 years, it's been one of those things where if his jump shot's falling, man, now his energy level's up, he's rebounding, he's out on the break. But if his shot's not falling, it's a little bit easier to sort of disappear in those areas. And I thought he didn't do that today. You know, he missed a few threes, some good looks. You know, we ran some stuff for him, but, you know, he had an offensive rebound to start the second half, which I felt like in past games he'd be at the three-point line sort of watching, hoping Dwayne and Malik get it. And we need to be firing on all cylinders, and Jordan giving that type of energy in other areas is huge for our team. And we need that type of growth to continue.
Chris,
you've got a break coming up a little bit, 5 days, I guess, between it. You look at that as a good thing. Do you think this team needs a little bit of a...
I do. We're going to give them off a couple days, and then we're going to lift on Tuesday. But, you know, you have the mandatory 1 day off. But I'm going to give them a couple days to focus on their classes, get away from the game, and come back and be supercharged and refreshed to start back on Wednesday on the basketball court.
Chris, Kristen against, I think it was Clemson, kind of took over in the second half and kind of willed you guys on offense and did it a little bit for a stretch here tonight.
Yeah.
Is that innate in him, or do you guys kind of pull him aside and say, hey, we need you at this point, or how does that?
I think he knows. I think he could sense that some of their ball screen coverage was sort of opening up where he could get in the lane. You know, they weren't being very aggressive with their hedges, and so I think he's smart enough to figure out, like, hey, I can attack now. If they're going to drop their foot, if that big guy's going to drop his foot, I'm going to get in the lane and either make a play for myself or my teammate. And I think once he hit 1 or 2 at the basket, you know, you could sort of see, you know, his confidence coming out, which, again, when your point guard has a boatload of confidence and is playing downhill, it's a lot easier in those other 4 positions to play the same way.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.